is giving she needs to be in therapy herself, not giving the therapy. I fear that I love this book already and I'm only 12% in. Her brother is like such a dummy head and gets her caught. Hey everyone, it's me Bailey and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be me reading the highest versus the lowest books on my December TBR. So I have done this video a few times in the past and I feel like I always love doing this because I feel like it's a fun way to read books from my monthly TBR, as well as finding books that might not be popular among the masses but I personally like, or find something that might be a little bit hyped up and maybe not like it as much as everyone else. I feel like this is such a good way to pick books differently, as well as like still reading my TBR. So I'm super excited to be filming another one of these videos. So if you have not watched my December TBR, I will have it linked, but that is the video where I did end up picking all of the books for the month that I have hopes of reading. So I have gone through and made a list on my phone of each book and their rating, and so I have the two books that were rated the highest and the lowest. So just to kind of go through the TBR, I had Chain to Compass, which was 3.48 stars, A Dawn of Onyx, which was 3.94 stars, Love Unwritten, which was 4.11 stars, Trial of the Sun Queen, which was 3.88 stars, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas with 3.98 stars, A Shadow Crown with 4.10 stars, Secret Keepers with 4.10 stars, Quicksilver with 4.45 stars, The Hunted Heir with 3.47 stars, Cemetery Boys with 4.26 stars, A Touch of Darkness with 3.81 stars, The Stranger Upstairs with 3.46 stars, The Savior's Champion with 3.75 stars. So those are all of the books on my December TBR along with their star rating. And so the lowest rated book by 0.01 was The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin. This is a mystery thriller book. I got this in my book of the month box back in September of 2023 and I have not read it, so I have been interested in reading this. It is about a therapist and self-help writer and about an infamous murder house that is being renovated, so I feel like it's gonna give kind of like spooky, kind of creepy vibes. I'm definitely interested to see. It is pretty short, so I don't think it would be too terribly long for me to read it, but this was the lowest rated, like I mentioned, with 3.46 stars. And now the highest rated one, which is kind of surprising to me, but I feel like it shouldn't be based on all of the hype that it has been getting lately all over the internet, and that is Quicksilver by Callie Hart, which has a rating of 4.45 stars. That is such a high rating, so I'm definitely interested to read this book and see if I'm going to like it. I've been hearing such great things about this book that I have been kind of intimidated by it, that I have been kind of putting it off a little bit since there has been so much hype around it, but I am super excited to read it. So these are the two books that I'm going to be reading in this video to see if I agree with the ratings that they got, if I think that this one should have been the lowest rated book on my TBR or not, and if this one should be the highest rated book on my TBR or not. But I'm super excited to read both of these. They're very different genres because we have mystery thriller and a romantasy, so I don't really know how these are going to fare against each other, but I'm super excited to read both of these, and I'm even more excited to take you guys along on the journey to see what I think about both of these books. So I am going to start with the lowest rated per usual and then go into the highest rated. So I will be starting The Stranger Upstairs, and so yeah, this is the book that I'm going to be reading first in this video, and I will update you guys again once I have started The Stranger Upstairs. Hello. Okay, so so it is the next day and I just started The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin, and I'm not very far in this at all. I am on chapter 3, which is page 21, so really not super far into this at all. But I did want to give an update real quick before I like go to bed, because I have a feeling that I'm probably going to binge this tomorrow while I'm at work in one sitting, and so I wanted to at least come on and give like my first impressions and my initial thoughts before I end up giving you guys my like overall thoughts and feelings. Because so this is a pretty short book, and I did grab the audiobook from my library, so I do have it on Libby, and I do have plans to listen to this while I'm at work tomorrow. I might not finish the whole thing while I'm at work tomorrow, just depends, but it's more than likely that I will, because this book is only like 273 pages, so it's not very long at all. And so far my first initial thoughts on this book are I'm just unsure if I think that I'm gonna like this book or not. So this is an Australian book written by an Australian author, which I think is absolutely amazing. I don't think I've ever read a book by an Australian author before, so I'm super excited about that aspect of this book. But this book is taking place in, oh, I don't remember, because I don't believe it was Sydney, in Melbourne. So this is taking place in Melbourne. We are following Sarah, and she is a therapist, and her husband have just bought this house to renovate. Now the rumor on the street is that the people who lived in this house like 40 some odd years ago, the husband murdered his wife with a hammer and then went to kill his daughter, but she ended up getting away, and he then overdosed on some type of medication after he had killed his wife and attempted to kill his daughter. And so this house has been sitting vacant since these murders have happened, and Sarah and her husband have decided to come in and renovate. Now we can tell right off the bat that Sarah just is not trustworthy. I feel like she's very much an unreliable narrator. I feel like she needs to be in therapy herself, not giving the therapy. Like there is actually something wrong with Sarah. So it seems like she could possibly have a stealing problem. I don't want to say that she's like a kleptomaniac or anything, because there's nothing in here about that so far, but she has mentioned that she has stolen from clients, and like this is in the first 20 pages, so like I don't feel like any of this is spoilers, but she is essentially looking at her clients and making assessments about them and how she thinks that their lives are just so much better than hers, because they have this like designer stuff and she wants these designer things, and how she has stolen from her clients before because her clients have these things that she wants. And like she is experienced kind of a rocky relationship, like her and her husband are not on the best of terms, and so she's trying to kind of like live vicariously through her patients, I guess. But I don't know, it just seems like she's very materialistic, and that's just like my first impressions of Sarah. Now the husband, on the other hand, we're not really getting much from him. He just is like playing the Xbox. He doesn't like the fact that they bought this like murder house, and he just like does not want to be there. He doesn't really want to be involved, but since they are married, it is obviously like a joint venture, so we're just following them as they are going about renovating this house. So right now there hasn't been much on the house. We do know so far in the first 20 pages that they have started moving into the house. They have just moved their bedroom in the house, and they are choosing to stay, or I should say Sarah is choosing to stay, because they no longer share a room. But Sarah is choosing to stay in the room where the murder happened. So we do know that much, and we do know that Sarah is planning to stay in that room. And it's very clear that no one has come in to clean up this room since the murder happened. Like obviously to remove the bodies, but nobody has come to like clean up the blood. So there is like 40-year-old blood stain on the ground in this room, and she's just gonna like sleep next to it. It's weird. I don't know. I'm feeling like Sarah is really weird. And based on the back of this, it's saying like gruesome history, a hostile neighborhood, a new owner with a shocking secret, welcome back to Blackwood House. And I have a theory about Sarah. Now I feel like the author might be trying to throw us off with a few comments, but I have a theory about Sarah, and I am gonna say it on camera so that way I have it. I'm not gonna tell you guys because I don't want to like spoil anything in case I happen to be right, but I am going to say it so that way when I'm editing this footage later I can say whether or not I was correct. So was I correct? So yeah, that is my first impressions. That is my theory on what I think is happening or what is going to happen. I don't know, we'll see. But I had planned to get some b-roll of me reading this, but I feel like since it's so short and I have the audiobook, it's probably not gonna happen. If anything, I'm gonna be a little bit more lucky probably with the Quicksilver b-roll. So sorry about that if that's what you guys were looking forward to for this video, especially since there's only like 2 books that I'm gonna be talking about in this video. I might not finish this tomorrow, like I said, so I might end up getting a little bit of b-roll, but I don't want to promise any. So yeah, I don't know. Those are my initial thoughts on The Stranger Upstairs. I am going to update you guys again tomorrow after I do some more reading of this book. So yeah, those are my thoughts for right now. That is a description and all the things, and I am about to go to bed. It is a Monday night, so I do have to go to work tomorrow, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow probably if and when I have an update on The Stranger Upstairs. So I wanted to give the update that I finished The Stranger Upstairs. So I actually finished this last night and I decided to rate this book 2 stars. So I really just did not like this book. It was so confusing to me and there was just so much going on. I didn't like the main character. I didn't really like anything about this book, honestly. Like the writing was fine, but like the overall like plot was not good. So I wasn't right with my prediction that I gave the last time I updated. Like that prediction was not right. It ended up being something else, but I just didn't like it. Like I didn't like anything about it. I didn't like the main character. I didn't like the job. I didn't like the house. I didn't like the creepy element. I didn't like that it was like horror, but also like a thriller, but like also a mystery because you don't really understand like what's going on. I didn't like the like deaths that happened. Like I just did not like anything about this book. I will say the writing was pretty decent though, so I will say that. So that was fine, but yeah, just overall premise, didn't like this. We'll probably be unhauling this at some point as well because it just was not for me. But yeah, so that is my update on The Stranger Upstairs. I understand why it was the lowest rated on my TBR. It just wasn't for me, but I guess I can kind of see why some people like it. Like it had the unreliable narrator, and usually I'm pretty okay with that, but I feel like in this it was just so like, I don't want to say sloppy, but like incoherent. So I don't know, just 2 stars to this. Happy to be done with it. Happy to have marked another book off of my physical TBR. But now that I'm finished with that, I will be moving on to the next book that I'm going to be reading in this video, which is going to be Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. And I do plan to start this today. I did download it from Kindle Unlimited, so I do have it on my Kindle as well. So I'm going to be reading this while I'm at work today on my lunch break. I'm thinking about getting the audiobook from Audible so I can listen to it while I'm working. So yeah, but I do plan to start this today. I'm super intrigued by this book and I'm hoping that I'm really going to like it, but I do have to head out to go to work now, so I will update you guys when I get home on my thoughts on Quicksilver. This book already and I'm only 12% in. I started Quicksilver today and I am currently 12% in, chapter 6, page 68. I freaking love this book already. I am eating it up. I've been sitting here, I've been reading. Time has been absolutely flying. Like, I am eating this up. I am absolutely obsessed with this already. Like, I'm flying through it. Like, I am so intrigued. I have literally been intrigued since chapter 1. I am only putting it down now to go to bed because I do actually have to go to work in the morning. But if I did not have to go to work in the morning, I would probably sit here and binge read this book until I literally couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. Like, I could see myself staying up until like 3 a.m. to finish this book in one sitting. But unfortunately, I do have to go to work. So I do need to be going to bed because it's almost 8:30 p.m. So Navy and I have our nighttime routine that we need to go through. So it looks like I'm going to be putting it down for now. But first thing in the morning, I'm picking it back up. Like, I'm obsessed with it. It is literally so good. And I'm like, why was I so intimidated by this book? Why did I not pick it up before now? Why is it literally so good? And where I just ended, it ended on kind of like a cliffhanger for the chapter. I'm so ready. Like, I'm going to be thinking about this book forever. Oh my God. And then it's a part of a series, but is it like interconnected or is it like in on a cliffhanger? And this is the only book that's out. What if it ends on a cliffhanger? I don't know. But I'm actually obsessed with it. I'm obsessed. Yeah, that's my update. 12% in. I'll let you guys know if I'm still feeling like super obsessed with it, like once I get a little bit further in. But as of right now, obsessed. Read this book if you have not, please. Hello. Okay, so I wanted to give an update real quick before I go to bed. So I have been sitting here, I've been reading Quicksilver, and I am now on chapter 9, which is 20%. So I'm on page 119. And I love the way that these chapters end. Like, they end on a note where you want to keep going. I feel like this book is so bingeable because of the way that the chapters are ending. So they are a little bit longer chapters, but they're not like super extra long, but they're not short either. And I feel like the way that each chapter is ending, it like makes me want to continue on to the next chapter. Like, I feel like there is no real good like stopping point, if that makes sense, because it's like anything I read, I'm like, okay, well, now I gotta know what's gonna happen. Like, it's not like, okay, the chapter ended, like I can close the book now and like take a break and I'm like good. But no, it's like, okay, the chapter ended, what's gonna happen next? I need to take a break, but like what's gonna happen next? And I feel like the end of chapter 8 was again like one of those chapters where it's like, what is going to happen next? Like, I need to know, but unfortunately I will not be knowing tonight. So I am going to go to bed now. It is 8:41, so I'm about to get ready to go through my nighttime routine with Navy. I do have to work in the morning, but I will be working from home, so I might have a little bit of time to read in my downtime. So yeah, I am super excited to keep reading this book. I'm absolutely loving it so far, and I've been seeing so many people picking it up lately, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm like loving it. I have my pen as my bookmark because there are a couple of things that I need to underline once I get a second, but I am absolutely loving this. I'm loving this. I feel like this could be a 5-star book. So yeah, I probably think that I will end up reading this tomorrow, possibly finishing this tomorrow, since tomorrow is Friday, so it'll definitely be done this weekend. But I'm so excited to be reading this. Like, I'm loving it so much. So yeah, I'm going to go to bed. I'm gonna update my pages progress in this and on Goodreads and stuff, and then I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. And I'm giving like way more updates on this book than I gave on The Stranger Upstairs, but I just feel like these two books are unmatched. Like, that one was like super short, right? It was a mystery, so there's not really many updates that you can give without being like, oh, this is my theory, but I just didn't like that book too. And this one, like, I am like, I need to talk about it. Like, I need to talk about this book with you guys, and so that's why I've been giving like 85,000 updates, but I'm just loving it that much. So yeah, I'm obsessed with this. I cannot wait to read more. So I'm gonna go to bed. Navy just came in here to let me know that he is ready to go outside, so that way we can go to bed. And yeah, so with that being said, I will talk to you guys guys later once I have another update on Quicksilver. Hello. Okay, so I wanted to give an update on Quicksilver. So I am around the halfway mark and I have been procrastinating on finishing this book because I literally love this book so much that I never want it to end. Like, this is probably going to be a 5-star read. I feel like I've known that since about 12% in, if I had to guess. Like, I am loving this book and I like do not ever want it to end. So I am currently on page 285, I believe. No, I might be a little bit further than that. 290. I think I'm on page like 292 in this book, and I'm just having the best time of my life. I'm loving it. I'm giggling, I'm kicking my feet. I'm just like having the best time reading this book, but I do need to finish this. So I will be finishing this today because I need to get this video finished so I can get it uploaded either tomorrow or Wednesday, probably tomorrow. So I need to go ahead and finish this book so I can get this video edited and uploaded for you guys. But I'm saying right here, right now, that I think this is going to be a 5-star. And if it's not, then I will actually be shocked. But the second book in the series does not come out until November of 2025, and I could actually scream. So if you have not read this book, I highly recommend it. Like, it's so good so far, and like the world isn't too complex if you're like not really into fantasy romance. Like, it's so good. It is literally so good. I could definitely see this being one of my like top books of this year, and that's amazing because I haven't filmed that video just yet. So there's still time for this to be on that list because I'm actually loving this book. Loving it so much that I'm procrastinating to finish it because I don't want it to end. Like, that is how you know you love a book. So that being said, I'm gonna start reading. I'm gonna sit here, and I might not sit here in this exact spot, but I am going to sit here and read this and finish it. So I'm gonna give you guys an update once I finish Quicksilver, give you my final thoughts and my final rating, and yeah, so I will talk to you guys again once I finish Quicksilver. 5 stars. 5 freaking stars. Oh my god. Y'all, 5 stars. 5 stars. Literally, I loved this. I love this. I still have my bookmark in because I have to go through and finish my annotations from my Kindle, but I literally just finished this, and y'all, literally, I'm speechless. I have no words. I freaking loved this book so much. The fact that the second book isn't coming out until November of 2025 makes me actually want to scream. Like, I cannot. This book was literally so good. It was so good that, like, I literally can't even say anything else about it besides the fact that it was literally so good. Literally so good. Like, I can't. I'm going to be thinking about this forever. Like, the fact that I have to go on with my life after reading this, I can't. Pick this book up if you have not already. I don't know if I ever said what it's about, but essentially we're following this girl. Her name is Saris, and she is living in this like poverty-stricken community. She lives with her brother, and they essentially live where their water is like rationed, and there's like this disease, but I don't know if the disease is actually real or not. It doesn't seem like it actually is, maybe. I don't know, but Saris ends up stealing a gauntlet from one of the queen's men from the army and ends up running away with it, and her brother is like such a dummy head and gets her caught with the gauntlet, and so she's taken to the queen, where the queen orders her to be murdered, but she then ends up pulling the sword, very like King Arthur style, out of this like pool of Quicksilver and reawakens the Quicksilver, where Kingfisher steps out, and yeah, and then it like goes on from there, and like, It was so good. It was so good. Please read this book. If you like fantasy romance, read this book. And I highly recommend the audiobook as well. I downloaded it from Audible because I got it for like $7.50 with the ebook being downloaded on my Kindle. The audiobook was so good because it's told in, it's not dual narration, but it's like where each character, like each narrator speaks for the character at all times. And it was just so good. It was literally like a 10 out of 10. The audiobook was like a 10 out of 10. The book is 5 stars. Like literally this book was so freaking good. Like probably one of my favorites of this year, I think. If you see this on my like 5-star reads, my top books of 2024, like don't be surprised because yeah, it's sad. It is sad. This was so freaking good. Ugh, literally I can't get over it. I can't get over it. It was so good. But now that I'm officially finished with this, I'm gonna go and add my leftover annotations that I have left in the last like 100 or so pages from transfer them from my Kindle to the book. And yeah, so that is going to be all for today's video. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. I will have all my social media linked in the description. I feel like this video was so good. I mean, I was able to get 2 books off my physical TBR. I will say that The Stranger Upstairs didn't like that one. Like 2 stars to that, and then of course Quicksilver 5 stars. So I feel like I see why Quicksilver was the highest rated and The Stranger Upstairs was the lowest rated on my TBR. And I feel like it very much was in line, my opinions were very much in line with the masses and the ratings of these books. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to this point in the video, leave the butterfly emoji for Quicksilver. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.